Hi Blassjackers, congrats for the result. Tell us your deck.
So today in our local tournament, for me, first place with 4 wins and 0 losses, playing a vampire deck.
An important win.
Really important because I played versus decks with Macrocosmos and Banisher. More specifically, I won versus a Amnel Token, the kind of deck that play Professor of Alchemy, and a Severance that play Macrocosm also, and Survivor Centric that played Banisher. Then versus a Ranched Gear, but I had a good matchup. So for the deck list, I used a skill Twist Personality because I think that in this deck is perfect because we pay so much LP, so it's the perfect skill we can say. Then 3 copies of Retainer because and 3 copies also Familiar. You can play Familiar in 3 copies. To be honest, I think that 3 copies are maybe too much. I talked with the other players and they thought also that 2 copies are okay because the third not so often used. So
you can summon with Awakening or send to graveyard.
Yeah,
with,
so you
the
resolve it
side.
in different ways, so it's not particularly important the third card. But I played 3 and I didn't dislike it. Then 2 copies of Curse and 1 of Vampire Lord as tribute summon. I think the rest is cool. It's good because this is a counter of Widespread Ruin, this is a counter of Shrink, and other cards, for example Floodgate, they set it and then they attack, you can resummon it, so it's not bad. Then 1 copy of Jinzo because it's Jinzo and it's good. 2 copies of the Golden Ladybug, we pay so much LP, so it's important. For example, in the last match in the final, I won the game for because time was ended, so I had more LP of my opponent, and that's cool. For the spells, I played 2 books, only 2 because we play Twisted. Are incredible, are one of the strongest cards of the format of Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. I think this card does everything. Then 2 copies of Vampire Desire. It's a good start it with another card, another vampire card, for example a Familiar or a Retainer. It's better than Foolish because you can use also the second effect. Today I never used it, but there are different spots where you can use it, so it's pretty cool and good. Then once to exchange, we played 4 monsters that must be tribute summoned, so it's good to remove something that give us some problems. Then 3 copies of Widespread Ruin. It's really good versus all decks that are not decks that play I'm just gonna attack. Today I played versus in the final versus I'm just gonna attack and I remove it for in the siding because are not particularly good. But also in the first match before siding could be great because you can activate in Awakening, for example in battle phase. The opponent could negate if you want, and you can use Ruin. If it doesn't negate this card, you summon and you can pay LP for the add of Retainer or Familiar. Then last card of the main deck, Shrine, because it's really good. Only 1, you can play 2. The problem of this card is that if you see it in the first hand, it's a problem. Because if you have no monster in the UI, it doesn't do nothing completely. So only 1 because you can summon two monsters. 1 when you activate on the field, then 1 banishing it from the UI.
In the late game is very strong.
Yeah, you can reborn or a Familiar or a Retainer for an extension, or for example Lord and Curse if you need it. For the side deck, 1 Vampire Hunter is really good in mirror match and versus deck that are strong and play Dark Monster, for example, Relinquished. So it's really cool versus this deck. One copy is because you can search it, so it's a good one copy. 2 Twister and 1 Dust, because Dust is the most generic ST removal of Speed Duel, I think. So I use it for this reason. You can remove, for example, a Floodgate or Macrocosmo or everything. 2 Twister for Macrocosmo, and also
You pay
against decks
the point.
yeah, of course, but above all for removing some cards that are strong. For example, the field spell and skill of Roids is really strong. You pay LP and you are happy for this. Then 2 Hammer Shot for Banisher and decks that use huge monsters in attack position, for example 7s. Today versus that deck, this was really strong. This is everything for the deck. Really funny, one of the greatest combo deck of Speed Duel. It's also strong, but of course it suffers so much. Cards as Macrocosm and Banisher, and you have to play cards to counter it. So it's great, I think. Anyway,
Thanks for all.
see ya.